Let's have a big Fango welcome for the producers of the film, Brad Fuller and Andrew Form. The director of the film is here. Let's hear it for Jonathan Liebsman. Diora Baird, let's hear it for Diora. Jordana Brewster. Last, but definitely not least, let's hear it for R. Lee Ermey, Sheriff Hoyt himself.
You kids okay?
Chainsaw mythos has been with us since the 70s, over 30 years. What is it about these characters that continue to hold such appeal?
I don't think there's much more terrifying than getting chopped up by a chainsaw. I think that's just the biggest fear, the most visceral thing, that getting eaten by a shark, that, there's something about that is frightening and it keeps you in suspense in every scene because you don't know, when someone's going to get it. And I don't know. Mr. Ermey, what do you think?
Sheriff Hoyt, to me, is one of the most phenomenal characters that I've ever played. I enjoy playing him more than any other character that I've ever done, with the exception of Gunnery Sergeant Hartman. And the reason being is because I've done so many films with directors that will, I always try to take my character right up to the edge, and then they want to pull him back and say less is more, and that's a crock of shit. You know as much as I do, and I hate to hear those words. Well, I never heard those words on either one of the Texas Chainsaw Massacres, plain and simply because my character as Sheriff Hoyt is a sexually perverted homicidal maniac, and there is no over the top for this guy, plain and simple. Hey! You kids best not be making a mess in my car. You'll clean it up. You realize, of course, that these people killed how many? 37 people, 32 people, 33 people. We've only, in the past, in the remake and in the beginning, we've only killed about 16 or 17 people. I mean, we've got a lot of people to kill yet. So.
What were your impressions when you read the script? You girls go through hell in that movie.
I really didn't know what to expect, honestly. I am a big wuss, and I get scared very easily. So being in this movie, being a part of it, though it was such a big honor, it was being scared to death every single day, because Arlie's, as sweet as he is in real life, is terrifying as Sheriff Hoyt. So I just pretty much reacted off of him, and hopefully that comes off.
I signed on without a script because I loved the 2003 one so much. So I just really wanted to be a part of it. And the script got so graphic that I just read the dialogue, and then I started skipping the graphic, violent sections, and I was just like, I'm just going to trust Lebo and get him to describe the shots to me once I get on set. And yeah, I was just psyched once we got to set to see the gross bodies all over the place, and we just had fun every day.
Watching the movie, it seemed like it was a really tough shoot. Could our actors comment on some of the tough stuff you had to do on this film?
I think the basement was the toughest because everybody gets sick once we leave the basement because there's something in there, I'm convinced. And there'll be lawsuits forthcoming, I'm sure. And then the raw meat is gross because it's real meat and it stinks, and like the crew's really close to, everyone's like an inch away from each other because it's a tiny kitchen and there's meat right there and it starts to smell.
Those were your co-stars.
Yeah, right. Wearing the prosthetics and the blood is a pain in the butt just to like get that stuff off every day after work. The rubbing, and your skin after a while just is like raw.
It's pretty intense, and the screaming, at first it was really, really therapeutic, and I was like, wow, this is fun, who needs therapy when you can just work on a horror movie, cry and scream for free. It definitely gets a little difficult having to go to such a dark place, and I don't know, I kind of would lose touch with reality a little bit. It's such a great set. There was dead animals hanging from the ceiling. There was like this pig head. It was just gross.
Everything I did was easy. It just came natural. The ladies did all the work. Trust me on that. If I had to scream like they screamed, I would have only been able to work about every third day. It's a tough shoot. You have to stay nasty, number one. Who likes to be nasty all day? And sticky blood. We had a budget that was over $15 million. I don't know how far over, but I do know that about half of that was spent on blood. So, I mean, it's kind of hard to stay neat and tidy when you're cutting somebody up with a chainsaw, and so you need some blood.
Wait, can we put more blood on him?
Was it a challenge to come up with a sequel, prequel, right from the start?
Well, yes. It's a very complicated thing because, they're characters we can't kill. I mean, you know that Lee's going to live because he dies in the next one, so we couldn't do that. And we wanted to bring the whole family back, and they're all in the movie that follows them. So we had to go the other way, and we wanted to have some great kills also. But it was complicated because the audience knows how the movie ends. So it was a challenge.
Well, they think they do.
They think they do.
Amazing grace. How sweet.
And at the end of the day, when you sit down and watch the show, you realize, boy, that's the way to make a movie, plain and simple.
People may not know what we say here tonight. By God, they'll remember what we did.